Hey guys, welcome to my kingdom. If you like my content, please consider supporting me. Link in the description below, guys.
In the vast realm of fantasy and dark storytelling, few characters have left such a deep and lasting mark as Cloud, Strife, and Guts. Two worlds, galaxies apart. On one side, the techno-fantasy universe of Final Fantasy VII, dominated by ruthless corporations, Mako Energy, and towering futuristic cities. On the other, the grim medieval landscapes of Berserk, a realm haunted by demons, endless wars, and desperate struggles against a merciless fate. And yet, despite their differences, these two warriors share something profound. Both carry the weight of pain, loss, and secrets etched into their very souls. Two shattered spirits, two survivors, two men forced to fight battles far greater than themselves. In this episode of Fedrick Fantasy Kingdom, we'll explore their stories, uncovering what binds them together, what sets them apart, and which of the two carries the heavier burden. Cloud's story begins in the quiet shadows of Nibelheim, the village where he grew up, destined one day to burn beneath the flames of Sephiroth. Driven by the dream of becoming a hero, Cloud joins the legendary organization Soldier, chasing an ideal that will ultimately shatter him. Subjected to Shinra's experiments, infused with Mako energy and the alien cells of Genova, his identity begins to crumble. Haunted by false memories, Cloud confuses his past with that of Zokfair, the friend whose death shapes his very existence. His greatest battle isn't against Sephiroth, Shinra, or Genova, it's discovering who he truly is. Guts' story, however, begins in death. Found beneath the lifeless body of his hanged mother by Shizu, the partner of mercenary Gambino, Guts is raised in a brutal band of soldiers where childhood has no meaning. Forced into battle from a young age, he survives through sheer strength and unrelenting will. Eventually, he finds a semblance of belonging within the band of the Hawk, led by the charismatic Griffith. Until the fateful night of the eclipse, in one blood-soaked ritual, everything is stolen from him, his friends, his love, his humanity itself. Marked with the brand of sacrifice, Guts becomes prey to demons, cursed to walk a nightmare between the living and the dead. Both men know solitude. Both have been abandoned. But where Cloud seeks to rebuild himself, Guts chooses to resist the entire world. Cloud's strength comes from Mako energy, genetic manipulation, and the mastery of materia, mystical orbs capable of summoning elemental forces and ancient gods. Yet power alone isn't what defines him. Only when Cloud confronts his lies and accepts his vulnerabilities does he rise as a true leader, not because of strength, but because of choice. Guts, by contrast, has no divine blessing, no scientific enhancements, no otherworldly gift. His power is human, yet his resolve makes it something more. Wielding the colossal Dragon Slayer, a sword so massive it defies reason, Guts turns brute force into artistry. But his greatest transformation comes with the Berserker armor, an ancient relic that pushes his body beyond its limits at a terrible cost. The armor numbs his pain, silences his fear, and drives him into a frenzy where survival eclipses reason. Cloud builds his power by gaining knowledge and allies. Guts builds his power by sacrificing himself. Cloud's Buster Sword is more than a weapon, it's a monument to the past. Once wielded by Angela Hewley, then passed to Zokfair, it finally rests in Cloud's hands as a living memory of his fallen friend. Every swing is a promise, never give up, never forget. Guts' Dragon Slay is rebellion forged in steel. A slab of iron too unwieldy to be called a sword, it was crafted to slay dragons but now cleaves through humans, demons, and apostles alike. Each strike defies the gods themselves, a declaration of rage against a cruel and indifferent world. The swords mirror their wielders. Cloud fights to honor the past, Guts fights to deny destiny itself. Cloud's journey is intertwined with the chosen family. Tifa, his childhood friend, anchors him to his humanity and memories. Aerith, connected to the planet's lifeblood, teaches him the sanctity of life and the meaning of sacrifice. Around them, Varric, Red 13, Vincent, Yuffie, and Sid form a diverse group bound together by shared purpose, loyalty, and hope. Guts, by contrast, rebuilds his world piece by fragile piece. After the eclipse, he walks a solitary path, but along the way, he gathers a small, unconventional family, Casca. The center of his love and sorrow, Puck, the playful elf who brings light to his darkness. Farnese and Serpico, redeemed from zealotry. Shirk, the young witch who opens the gates to the astral world. And Isidro, an impulsive apprentice who sees Guts as his mentor. Both men prove that no hero stands alone, but while Cloud chooses to lead, Guts carries others with him out of necessity and survival. Cloud fights against the Shinra Corporation, an industrial empire draining the planet's life for profit, the embodiment of systemic corruption and greed. Yet his greatest enemy is Sephiroth, once a hero, now a puppet of Geneva, the alien parasite seeking to reshape humanity. Sephiroth is more than a rival, he is a haunting presence, the ghost of Cloud's past and the mirror of what Cloud might have become. Guts faces foes of an entirely different nature. The Apostles and the God Hand embody a deeper, cosmic evil, rewriting reality through blood sacrifice. Among them, Griffith, once comrade and friend, now reborn as Femto, personifies betrayal, ambition, and divine manipulation. Cloud wages war against corporate empires and alien invaders. Guts fights demigods and eternal damnation. Different battlefields, yet one truth remains: the deadliest enemies are often those they once called brothers. Cloud lives under the crushing weight of falsehoods, fabricated memories, borrowed identities, and guilt for sins that were never his. His journey is one of reconstruction, piecing together who he was, accepting who he is, and choosing who he wants to become. Guts bears the opposite burden, the raw, unrelenting truth. He cannot escape the horrors he has witnessed, the cursed brand that draws endless suffering, or the memory of the eclipse, burned forever into his mind. His rebirth doesn't come through acceptance but through endurance, surviving despite everything, fighting even when all hope is lost. For Cloud, healing begins through connection with Tifa's shared memories, with Aerith's sacrifice, with the bonds of his companions. For Guts, salvation lies in Casca, the woman who embodies both his deepest wound and his greatest reason to fight. Cloud Strife became the face of a generation, redefining the JRPG forever. His story introduced psychological depth and cinematic storytelling to gaming, inspiring countless titles and reaching audiences far beyond its era. Guts, meanwhile, stands as the cornerstone of dark fantasy. Berserk's relentless themes of trauma, revenge, and defiance have influenced an entire medium, inspiring everything from the bosses of Dark Souls to the haunting landscapes of Elden Ring. Cloud represents reconstruction, Guts embodies resistance. Together, they've reshaped how we experience epic storytelling. Cloud, Strife, and Guts couldn't be more different, yet they share the same legacy. Warriors scarred beyond repair, yet unbroken. One fights to save an entire planet. The other fights to protect a single person. One searches for the truth within himself. The other defies the gods themselves, to paths, to destinies. Bound by one uncheckable constant, the unyielding will to keep fighting. But here's the question: who carries the heavier burden? The man who fights for the world, while doubting his own identity, or the man who fights against destiny itself, refusing to surrender even before the gods? Who is the greater warrior, the one shaped by memories that are not his own? Or the one forged in endless pain, battling demons both outside and within? Tell us in the comments. Who wins this epic clash? Cloud, Strife, or Guts? Welcome back, warriors, to Fedrick Fantasy Kingdom.
Fedrick.